very good morning to 7 a.m. on Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato taking calls at 888-658-0234. Mix of clouds and sun this morning, but becoming cloudy later. Could be a stray shower or thunderstorm, highs around 90. Do we get the trifecta and another heat wave? I know whom to ask. It is meteorologist Mike Pavetta with the first check of the Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken. Very humid and soupy outside this morning. We're going to start off our day feeling quite muggy, and with that, temperatures never really cooled off last night. We're holding in the low 70s across all of New Jersey, with the exception of Sussex, 76, the warm spot down toward Cape May. So it stayed very warm as compared to this time yesterday, 10 or 11 degrees warmer than this time at 7 a.m. yesterday. So with the dew points very high, holding in that tropical level in the mid 70s down the shore and even over toward Medford, Millville, and Cape May. It'll feel quite muggy through this afternoon. So that's our number one ingredient. Number two is the sunshine, which we get throughout the morning. That will help spark off a late day thunderstorm that will give us a good downpour, a soaking rain into this afternoon. Nothing severe, nothing strong, but we will get some pretty briefly steady rains that come through later today. As long as that wind is blowing off of the water, we have a beautiful start to the day down the shore. And then those winds are calm tomorrow, but they begin to switch direction, pushing in some drier weather by the time Thursday and Friday roll around. Here's your future cast, starting off our day very warm, quickly climbing into the 90s with that sun. And that'll help to spark off a quick storm. You see right there toward Trenton, some dots of red, even up toward Sussex and Morristown. These are the thunderstorms that'll be dotting New Jersey this afternoon, giving us some quick passing showers lasting into about 6, 7 o'clock, and then ultimately clearing by later on tonight. It stays muggy and very humid and cloudy throughout the overnight. We get another round of warm weather tomorrow with the muggy air, highs once more climb into the low 90s. And that'll be our last round of storms that passes through by tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And then we clear out into the weekend. So it takes some time, but eventually, weather gets going and eventually clears for a very pretty weekend ahead. So beyond that, we look very pretty into Friday and Saturday with the clouds starting to clear out throughout the day, cooling off into the upper 50s rather. For Saturday morning, it'll feel very pleasant to start off the weekend and stay dry throughout. So we've got another beautiful weekend ahead. Just have to make it through the storms today and tomorrow, and then Friday and Saturday look gorgeous as temperatures normalize back into the mid 80s. You've got a beautiful check of the full weekend weather, Ken. That's coming up in a few minutes.
We love gorgeous. Gorgeous is a much underused word on this television program. We thank you so much, Mike, for that. And we already have some problems. 287 at 27. Take a look at the police activity we have right now on our screen. It's just a nice way to start things off. Look at that. Stop the traffic in both directions. We don't know what it is that's causing it. Obviously, the police have a very good reason to do that, but they have closed off the road there. I think, could it be something in that middle? You see the middle of the road there? Maybe there is something. What do you think? You think that that's okay? So Pam tells me that on the left side there was a wrecked car backing up. So to be safe, the police are doing that's a great job. Police, they don't get enough credit. Good for you, safely stopping everybody. We got a couple of minutes to make sure people are safe and healthy. Good for you, officers. And but you can see that's live happening again. This is let's just see what town that's in. Hey Google, yes, we're activating everybody's Google. Where is I 287 at 27 in New Jersey? In Edison. See, isn't that the Google is amazing? So that is in Edison, New Jersey right now. Again, that is I 287 at 27, stopped in real time at 7:05 a.m. Eastern in both directions. And that is going to cause delays for a couple of miles, guarantee it. So just beware of that if you're heading that way. We also have a crash on the Garden State Parkway outside exit 105, which is Route 36, Tinton Falls. All lanes are open, but that's pretty heavy through there. And a water main break continuing. There's a couple of water main breaks we have in our area. This one is in on the border of Rockland County, the North Service Road southbound by Cargo Road, just over the border into New York State. All lanes are closed with alternating traffic in the northbound lanes. The Hudson River crossings right now, it's only 10 minutes at the Holland Tunnel. It's 15 at the Lincoln. And we take a look at the 8095 approaches, upper and lower levels of the GWB. Is that what that is? Yeah, I guess that's a different angle, but that is the approach to the GWB, and you can see it's wide open right now, moving quite well. It is 7:06, and one swimmer has died. Four others were rescued after being caught in a dangerous rip current at Webster Avenue Beach Monday evening. The Seaside Heights Fire Department did respond, deploying jet skis to save the distressed swimmers. All five had to be rushed to Community Medical Center in Toms River, where one man was pronounced dead. The other four are in stable condition. The beach was unguarded at the time, as lifeguards had ended their shift already. Authorities note this follows another recent rip current involving 10 others over the weekend. If you see signs, or you should check your apps to make sure that there's no active rip current when you go in the water. And if you see that there is a sign for it, please heed the warnings, because rip currents are nothing to kid around about. I've known adult men who are good swimmers and big buff guys who've gotten ripped right out. You have no power against the power of a rip current. 7:07 in Patterson, frustration mounts as residents face yet a fifth day with little or no water after a 143-year-old water main broke on Friday. Nearly 200,000 customers. That would be multiple people per household. So 200,000 customers could mean 500,000 people. Remain under a boil water advisory, with some relying on portable showers and toilets at a local high school. The city is distributing free bottled water. The repairs should be finished hopefully this morning, though the advisory may last until Friday. So, in other words, because there's residual dirty water in the pipes, keep flushing them out, and you should have the boil water alert in effect till Friday. So you could probably take a shower, or they'll make you run the water, but you shouldn't drink that water until after Friday, or at least until you get the all clear. But again, it begs the question, what have you done, leaders of Patterson in and around and Passaic County? You've had the money, you've had the highest taxes in the whole country for decades. The Democrats have run that city for decades. Yet you did nothing about fixing up the infrastructure. Let's take a listen.
Yesterday, I talked about my colleagues, the other mayors affected in their municipalities, and said, now's not the time to point fingers. Now's the time for all hands on deck. As mayors, we are not responsible for the repair, but we are committed to the relief for our residents. And I often manage expectations of our constituents by saying that mayors are not magicians. We don't have a magic wand and we can't wave it and have whatever ails us disappear. But we have the will. We have the will to serve and to lead from the front.
And Andre's a very nice man. I like him a lot. I think he's a good guy, and I think he has a good heart, and I don't think he's being dishonest at all. Okay, that's Andre Saya, the mayor of Patterson. But what I would say is this, Mayor. As mayors in that area, you knew for years your infrastructure was crap, that it's old, that it needs to be fixed. When you're the local mayor, it should be first on your list, not, what little games can I give people and what little toys to make them smile. First thing on your list should be, guys, meaning ladies and gentlemen of the city, our infrastructure is crumbling. We're going to have this happen unless we fix it. I didn't know. I don't live in Patterson. I didn't know you had 150-year-old pipes. But if I knew that as mayor, that would have been first on the priority list. I'm just saying that's got to be done. So now every mayor of every municipality in New Jersey, wake up and check out your infrastructure, because it could happen just like that. A week and a half, 2 weeks with no water in the summer. Are you kidding? Check your infrastructure. If you have 150-year-old pipes, talk to your community about replacing them. Make that a priority. The city, by the way, is distributing, as you could see there, free bottled water. You just want your own water out of your tap, I'm sure. The repairs, again, should be finished this morning, and the advisory may last till Friday. A New Jersey Transit bus crashed into a PSE&G utility truck in Newark yesterday at 15th Avenue and Bedford Street, injuring 14 people, including 12 passengers on that bus, the bus driver and the truck driver. All were taken to University Hospital with injuries, including head and facial wounds. The collision flipped the truck onto the sidewalk, toppling a utility pole and cutting power to nearby senior residents, apartments, and traffic lights when it was 93 degrees out. A witness reported the truck was stationary when the bus swerved into it, so ostensibly saying it wasn't the truck driver's fault. 7-Eleven right now, the FAA seeking to extend flight caps at Newark Liberty Airport through October of 2026 due to ongoing staffing shortages and runway construction. Now, they've already redone one of the runways. I think they want to add some extra touches. They want to put in new lighting. These are all things that are extras. It's perfectly safe to land there right now, but these are things that pilots prefer. So they want to make Newark Airport a state-of-the-art airport, which is what it should be in the New York tri-state. The current limit, by the way, of 34 flights per hour, which began this summer, was set to expire by the end of the year, but now they're going to extend it through the middle of next year because they don't have, you can't just say, hey, would you like to work as an air traffic controller? Come on in, we'll train you today. It takes years to train these people. And you could blame the previous administration. They should have been training people. Instead, they were worried about DEI. And what we ended up having was not that when we say DEI, what they did was they literally set aside jobs, would not give it to qualified people who were Asian or white because they wanted to make sure that Black, Hispanic, anyone else, Pacific Islanders could apply for those jobs. And it's not that people couldn't, they just didn't. They did not. They chose not to. But yet we set aside those jobs. And even though we had qualified candidates from other ethnic groups, and there is a whole story the Washington Times wrote about this, even though we had qualified people from other groups, first the Obama administration, later the Biden administration chose not to hire them. So if you're wondering why now? Why are we finding out we have a shortage? It takes years. And they knew that if the blank hit the fan, they wouldn't be in office anymore. They don't care. But this was on them. This was on Mayor Pete, actually. This was literally his job. He had but one job and he effed up. This is why you'll see him running for president. He fancies himself president. This is the same guy who, the minute he got the appointment, leaving the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, to become the head of the transportation department. And what did he do? He decided that he and his hubby at that point were going to have babies, adopt babies. So they decided to adopt babies when he was taking office and take 4 months off at a time that the new incoming president needed you most. That's when you decided to go on paternity leave. Give me a break. He has no responsibility for anything and anyone but himself. The extension, by the way, could make catching flights into and out of Newark a little more challenging through next summer, but when all is said and done, it's going to be a diamond of an airport. It's pretty good now. I was just there last week. Pretty good now. 714, New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver vows to continue fighting for congressional oversight of immigration detention centers despite facing federal charges for allegedly assaulting officers during a chaotic May visit to Newark's Delaney Hall. Speaking at a Jersey City event, McIver called the charges, which carry up to 17 years in prison, stressful, but she remains defiant, joined by Representative Rob Menendez, son of Senator Menendez, who is now in prison. McIver pleaded not guilty with her trial set for November. The two criticized conditions at Delaney Hall and Trump's immigration policies, including a proposed camp at Fort Dix, which, by the way, she did not complain when Fort Dix was used by the Obama administration to put about 1,000 migrants from Haiti. That's what the Obama administration did, not a peep out of Congresswoman McIver. But when the Trump administration wants to do the exact same thing after her party let in millions of people illegally and we had nowhere to put them, now she's saying she's against it. Where were you during the Obama administration, McIver, huh? Just curious. 715, pharmaceutical giant Merck is cutting 6,000 jobs globally to slash $3 billion in costs by 2027. In New Jersey, 58 positions at its Rahway headquarters will be eliminated by the 14th of November per a WARN Act notice. WARN is an acronym, of course. Merck, employing over 8,000 in the state, remains committed to New Jersey, having invested nearly $3 billion here since 2018. The company also plans on closing its Northumberland County, Pennsylvania plant, and that will impact 163 workers. Dermarite Industries, a New Jersey-based manufacturer, voluntarily recalling multiple hand soaps, cleansers, and antiseptic products due to a contamination with Burkholderia cepacia, which is a bacteria that can cause serious, potentially life-threatening infections, especially in immunocompromised individuals or those with chronic lung conditions. The CDC warning the bacteria found in soil, water, and contaminated products may resist antibiotics, complicating treatment. Affected products have expiration dates July 2025 through February 2027. In a heartwarming display of community spirit, Gotham FC players brought joy to 13 RWJ Barnabas Health hospitals across New Jersey Monday. The professional soccer stars visited patients and staff, delivering gifts, signing autographs, playing soccer, dancing, and sharing stories. The infectious energy and countless photos left smiles on so many faces, uplifting hospital community members. And on Monday, the Jonas Brothers, New Jersey's own, kicked off their Jonas 2.0 greetings from your hometown tour at MetLife Stadium with a heartwarming moment for 16-year-old Gabby Bream of Toms River. The trio invited Gabby, a former patient and ambassador for Children's Specialized Hospital, backstage for a personal meet and greet. Gabby, who survived a brain bleed at 13 that left her paralyzed, credits the hospital's intensive rehabilitation for restoring her mobility and giving her a second chance at life. A longtime supporter of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, the Jonas Brothers made Gabby's dream come true, creating a miracle moment that she will never forget. They're just good people. Thank you, Jonas family, for being from New Jersey. 7:17 right now, 71 degrees already. When we come back, New Jersey Globe editor David Wildstein will have the latest on New Jersey's political scene with the inside edge. Clouds and sun this morning, becoming mostly cloudy later, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm, highs around 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with a full Garden State forecast. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday. I'm Ken Rosato at 7:18, taking calls at 888-658-0234, straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with a full check of the Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Gotta look good for this morning's show
You,
because we got a beautiful day ahead.
You couldn't not look good. I'm sorry.
Oh, come
Just
on.
have to
You
say.
kidding me with the hair falling down, the jacket, like whatever. You know, it's one of the first nights my son has slept through the night, like in a 6-hour stretch. So we're doing good
Oh,
here,
that's a
Ken.
blessing.
Yeah,
Blessing.
we're making it. So, as we look
Amen.
ahead to the sunshine today, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and there will be some thunderstorms pushing through. So, especially down over toward the shore points, you get a decent morning. It'll cloud up by this afternoon, and then once we get to around 1, 2 o'clock later on, that's when the storms come through. Warmer inland west of the Parkway, temperatures climb into the low 90s. So, a very warm start to the day with it feeling quite humid. We'll talk more about that heat index coming up. No, I haven't shown that in a while, given how hot it's been. As far as temperatures today, it'll start to feel warm. The smoke, not so much a concern. The heaviest of the smoke way to the north and west. So our smoke concerns are good. And in fact, our air quality improved quite a bit for today. That's some good news. So we get nice dry weather to begin, but here are this line of storms that move on in for later today. And again, they won't be severe, just a few quick downpours, and then give us a nice finish to the day. So until those storms come in, the UV index is very high. As far as the dew points or that humidity, the air is saturated throughout this evening into tomorrow morning. Another very dewy start, starting off quite humid and muggy with those dew point temperatures in the mid 70s. Again, that's tropical. By Friday morning, we start to see that drop and clear. And it looks quite pleasant going into Saturday and Sunday with a nice dry morning there in the northeastern corner of the state. Still quite humid down the shore. So if you have weekend plans to go to the beach, yes, it'll be sunny this weekend, but you'll also start to feel that humidity build back in by the end of the weekend. You see a few blobs of green there. Not to worry. I think we'll stay dry this weekend. And with that, a few clouds return for Monday afternoon into Tuesday, but it's another round of warm weather again next week. Not anticipating 90s, but we'll be teetering on that upper 80s, 90-degree mark going into next week. So the weekend starting off nice and dry, especially for Friday, climbing to 92 by Sunday, yet again with more humidity building by the end of the week. We've got your tropical update coming up, and we'll also talk about how much rain certain neighborhoods here in New Jersey could see coming up with your next weather update, Ken.
All right, we like that, sir. Thank you very much. But you really can feel the stickiness. I believe
Oh, yeah.
the term, if you're going to do Italianglish, it would be the sticchezza. Sticchezza.
Stigazza.
For those who don't speak Italian, ezza is like ness in
Uh-huh.
English.
But
So
that is so
sticky.
close to a curse word. It sounds so right,
Yeah,
but so
sure.
wrong at the same time.
You see, well, I was trying to go this way, and you just there we go. But yes, so it is sticky, and it's I here in northern New Jersey, 71, 72 in Trenton, but it's just you could. I even have the schwitz on the face
Oh,
because,
yeah.
of course, I had the AC is still set to the overnight. I didn't set it to the morning yet, so it's still a little schwitzy in here. All right, Michaela, thank you, sir. We will check back in just a little bit. 7:22, and we do have some issues to tell you about. Still that Edison issue that we showed you where there was stop traffic. It's now moving, but there are residual slowdowns. This is in Edison 287 at 27. So it's nice to see it moving, but that's heavy traffic. That's going about 15, 20 miles an hour. Where that little dark section is in the middle of your screen above the 888, that was absolutely stopped dead about 10, 15 minutes ago because there was some breakdown on the left side of your screen. All been cleared. The police did a good job. Actually, maybe not. If you see in the middle of the screen on the left, there's lights, right? Yeah, so they got them on both sides. The police are on both sides of the road, but at least they cleared and opened the roadway and did so very safely and efficiently. Thank you, officers, for doing that. But that is on 287 at 27 in Edison. Heavy but moving, but you might want to think of an alternate route for a little bit to come just until that all clears up. On the Garden State Parkway, outside exit 105, which is Tinton Falls, New Jersey, we have a crash reported. All lanes open to traffic, but things are kind of slow through there. And we have just want to show you Route 3 at Route 17 in Rutherford. It's moving. A couple of minutes ago, that was pretty heavy. Now it's moving pretty well. So I think that's just morning volume. As people drive into the sunshine, they tend to tap their brakes. But that is it's so bright. It looks like a black and white picture, but that's not. That's actually a color image. Route 3 looking east in Rutherford, New Jersey. Delays into the GWB right now, the lower level eastbound. Let's take a look at the 8095 approach. If we have it, they give us a weird camera shot before. So we're told right now that's a weird shot. That's not our normal shot. But we're told it's 15 to 20 minutes to cross over the GWB on the upper level. It's 15 on the lower, and that's not so bad, really. And the Lincoln and the Holland are only 10 to 15 right now. Good deals as well. Well, a new Wallet Hub survey ranks New Jersey as the third best state to live in the whole country. The Garden State excels in safety, ranking first, and performs strongly in education and health at sixth, quality of life at seventh. Despite a 48th place in affordability, shocker, New Jersey boasts the third highest median household income at over $101,000 a year. That's the second lowest median income debt that we have as well, and the sixth lowest poverty rate. Massachusetts and Idaho took the top two spots. Idaho because of a lot of energy production over the last few years. 724, time for politics from Trenton explained like no one else can do it. Here is New Jersey Globe editor David Wildstein with the Inside Edge.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Edge. It's Wednesday, August 13th. And as a state, New Jersey should never stop evolving, never stop looking for ways to build a better mousetrap, never completely dismiss an idea without some thoughtful consideration and debate. So here are some things that other states do. I'm not advocating for any of them, but I think it's good to at least think about new directions, even if that ends in rejection. So let's start with resign to run laws. Some states require elected officials to resign from their current position if their election to another office would create a vacancy. For example, last year, Herb Conaway and Carol Murphy would have had to resign their state assembly seats just to seek election to Congress. There are jungle primaries. California and Washington have nonpartisan blanket primaries where the top two vote getters advance to the general election regardless of party affiliation. Louisiana has no primary election at all. Instead, the top two candidates advance to a runoff only if the winner fails to win 50% of the vote. In 2017, Republican Kim Guadagno finished just 3,600 votes ahead of Jim Johnson, who had finished second in the Democratic primary. That would have meant Murphy versus Johnson, not Murphy versus Guadagno. 22 states have open primaries where voters are free to participate in the primary election of their choice. New Jersey is one of just 9 states that permits an unaffiliated voter to declare their party preference on primary day, but it doesn't allow crossover primary voting. Some states have open presidential primaries, but closed for other offices. What about September primaries? Just 13 states hold primary elections before New Jersey on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in June. Jersey used to hold their primaries in September before moving them to June in 1968. And in some years, those primaries were held in April. New Jersey is one of 6 states that doesn't directly elect any constitutional officers. 44 states directly elect an attorney general. Some states elect as many as 10 statewide office holders, and a quarter of the states elect between 4 and 6 statewide officials. I mean, Arizona elects a state mine inspector. Texas elects 3 state railroad commissioners, and Oklahoma elects a labor commissioner. Nevada allows voters to proactively cast their votes for none of the above, although in general elections, the option typically gets picked by less than 3%. Here's the last one. In 1947, the Constitutional Convention decided that New Jersey would hold gubernatorial and legislative elections in odd numbered years. So should Jersey change that or leave it the way it is? That's it for today, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow.
And thank you very much, sir. It is much appreciated. We have 728 right now. A Louisville woman was abducted from her home along with her 2 children before being forced to withdraw $20,000 from a local bank. This happened at knife point, the knife to her neck in front of her children on Friday morning. Now, get this. The suspect is 32-year-old Armand Langford. That, according to police. That's the man on your screen. Police say that he was arrested later that day and faces multiple charges, including robbery, kidnapping, and assault. Well, here's the worst part. Last year, in 2024, Langford was sentenced to 14 years in prison for burglary and robbery charges, but a female liberal Democrat judge granted him what is called shock probation just months after he began his 14-year sentence. In other words, you got 14 years. A jury of your peers said so. He got a full trial, months in court. They said you get 14 years. Judge says, I don't agree. Let him out. So he goes, he breaks into this house, puts a knife to this woman's throat in front of her children, drags her to a bank, makes her take out $20,000, and he's finally arrested. But he threatened to kill her multiple times. And it just makes you think, what are these judges thinking? What are you thinking? 729. And what do you think earns more? Who do you think, I should say, earns more the first year after school, a college grad or a trade school grad? Well, if you said a college grad, you'd be wrong. According to a poll from CNBC and apprenticeship.gov, college grads earn an average of $11,000 a year less than trade school grads their first year out. They're saddled with anywhere from $30,000 to $300,000 on average of student loan debt. Trade school grads usually have little to no debt at all post-graduation. The most they seem to find in their survey is about $10,000, easily paid off in a couple of years. But almost all trade school grads have jobs lined up straight out of school, and 60% of trade school grads end up owning their own businesses. That's more than twice the number of college grads. The average starting salary for college grads right now, after spending all that time and money in school, if you could find a job, 69 grand a year. It is 72 degrees right now at 7:30. And when we come back, Bloomfield is igniting inspiration for the next generation of first responders with its Girls on Fire youth camp. We'll tell you all about it. This is On New Jersey Mornings. We'll be back in 30.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Hoffman, host of Energy Matters. Join me every night at 6 p.m., where we're discussing energy affordability, challenges, and solutions with stakeholders and elected officials. Join me weekdays at 6 p.m. on Energy Matters on ONNJ.
Very good morning to you. 72 degrees at 7:31, Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. A mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later. Could be a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Highs around 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the full detailed Garden State forecast. Let's call it Schwitzola. That sounds nicer. That's what it feels
Schwitzola,
like
yeah,
now,
that
Schwitzola.
is a good one. Schwitzola. We start off our day. I get my tongue in order. Yeah, we're gonna start off with some very warm weather. It stays humid this afternoon, but the sunshine this morning will really heat things up quickly. Even as the sun rises, you see just a few high thin clouds there over most of New Jersey. It's a really pretty start to the day, and then you step outside and you feel that humidity right down to Atlantic City and Ocean City, where your highs today only climb to 85, but inland a little bit warmer. You have still a little bit of a sea breeze working in, making it a touch cooler at the coast, and air quality, big improvement from the last few days. We're at the moderate level, but on the lower end of that scale, thanks to the clearing and that wind off of the water. Today's high gets up to 92, far from the 102-degree record. And with those storms entering the picture from the north and west here, it's going to get pretty cloudy in a hurry as soon as probably 1, 2 o'clock. In terms of the rainfall totals, they'll be, again, light today, maybe up to an inch, a half inch, depending on your location. Some areas could pick up a little bit more. You see Hackensack, maybe up to 2 or 3 inches of rain, depending on where these storms set up, but not anticipating a slow moving system. It moves in, moves out, and that'll bring back another round of pleasant weather by the end of the day tomorrow. Water temperatures nice and warm. This is the warmest they get all year, climbing into the upper 70s there at the beaches. So if you head to the beach today, plan on a mostly sunny start, but rain this afternoon, and there's your sunset happening just before 8 p.m. Moderate risk of rip currents due to those winds coming in off of the water, and with the forecast pointing to sunshine until about 1, 2 o'clock, then we'll see those storms develop even down the shore. Not expected to be severe as they move on through, giving us a little bit of wet weather. And then tomorrow morning, starting off a bit cloudy, turning sunnier, another round of storms in the afternoon. And then that moves on by and eventually clears for a very pretty start to the weekend. In fact, the futurecast showing most of the rain exiting by Thursday night. And with that, the clearing happens on Friday will feel very pleasant because it's accompanied by the dry weather. And that lovely high pressure will settle in and make for a really pretty day as we look forward to another humid finish to the weekend. So we start off this weekend nice and dry, low humidity after what feels like a pretty humid day today. Tomorrow, extra humid with those showers again, and then drier by Friday. Saturday is going to be a lovely morning, dry, sunny, beautiful. We get another great weekend. Highs climb back into the low 90s for Sunday, and then we start to cool off by Monday and Tuesday yet again. I think the shore points are a little bit more humid. That'll keep temperatures in the mid 70s overnight, but we're back to the low and mid 80s this weekend with very pleasant weather, even lasting into next week. So very nice weather, especially as lots of people going on vacation and wrapping up the August vacation season with some sunshine at the beach. Got great weather all around New Jersey for the next few days, Ken.
Well, thank you for delivering, Mike, the best darn meteorologist on the planet, but that's just my own little humble opinion and that of 10 million other New Jersey residents. We appreciate you, sir, as
You
always.
bet.
73 degrees, 7:35 right now. And we do have a little bit of traffic in the area. Not massive, not massive. Don't worry. If we could show Pam, I don't know if you have it. If you don't, that's okay. Mile marker 9929 south of Garden State Parkway. This area that we're going to show you. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the one. You got it. Pam is always rocking. So this looks fine here, and it is just a little foggy, low fog there, showing stability in the atmosphere. But as you get just beyond that point within the mile, we're just showing this to give a figure, if you will. We do have a crash to report, and that's at exit 105. So just a little bit from this mile marker point, you do have a crash and that's in the vicinity of Asbury Park, et cetera, and the Garden State Parkway. Just be aware that it's not causing massive delays right now. What we do have is delays at the Lincoln Tunnel right now to report. Apparently, the Lincoln Tunnel Center Tunnel eastbound has just massive delays volume. They're saying that it's 15 to 20 minutes now crossing into New York. And we have 10 minutes at the Holland Tunnel. The GWB upper and lower level approach is still moving pretty well at only 10 to 15 minute crossover time. And there it is. Very nice. Always nice to see that wide open. 736, Bloomfield is igniting inspiration for the next generation of first responders with its Girls on Fire youth camp. Joining us now are Bloomfield Mayor Jenny Mundell and Bloomfield firefighter Claudia Astudillo. This two-day program today and tomorrow, it's going to be at Bloomfield Fire Station number 3, gives local girls in 4th, 5th, and 6th grades hands-on firefighting experience, safety training, and leadership skills, all while breaking barriers in a field where women are still underrepresented. Let's face it, guys it's like, they've been part of the firefighting group for a long time. It's about time we have more and more women as part of it. And the impact lasts far beyond the camp itself. One former camper even used what she learned to save her family during a real house fire. Mayor Mundell and firefighter Astudillo, and am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Astudillo?
That's perfect.
All right. Thank you. Good morning to both of you. Nice to have you on. I was a neighbor. I lived in Bloomfield. I'm sorry, in Belleville, right on the border of Bloomfield for years. And a buddy of mine, my best friend, lived in Bloomfield. So Bloomfield's a great community. I used to go downtown there to a couple of different restaurants back in the day. They're not even there anymore. And I used to go to the McDonald's in Bloomfield all the time. That was my Mickey D's, just so you know. Anyway, it's good to have you here. And talk about, Mayor, let's start with you. Let's talk about why Girls on Fire is such an important program for Bloomfield right now.
Sure. And good morning, Ken. Thank you for having us today. I think it's really important because girls and boys all need to know possible futures for themselves. And in order to do that, we really need to have representation that they can see people that look like them in various roles that maybe traditionally they hadn't seen themselves in before.
Yeah, it's essential. And for Claudia, how did you feel when you first heard about this program and were you excited to take part?
Absolutely excited, beyond excited and honored to be part of such an amazing project.
It's so nice to see that it's offered, and thank you to the people of Bloomfield for having this. How do you balance fun summer activities though with real world safety and leadership skills? Claudia, we'll talk to you about that. When you think, my friends are all hanging out going down the shore, but I'm going to take the time and do this.
Well, I'm a mom, so I appreciate this even more. As a female, as a firefighter, as a mom, it's an honor to be able to develop something like this. We are giving girls the opportunity to see that they can be here. There's a chance for them um, as a career in the fire service.
Right. And how long have you been a firefighter, by the way, Claudia?
3 years.
Wow, that's exciting. When you first joined, I'm sorry, Mayor, I'm so fascinated by it because I had so many family members who are firefighters, but all male. So I just want to hear the female perspective of it. When you came on, what was it like walking into a firehouse that was predominantly male, I'm assuming, and coming in? Were you accepted right away? How did that feel?
It was, I had a great experience. Everyone was welcoming. We only have two females in Bloomfield. Um, my experience was very positive. Even now, guys still encourage me to keep trying, to push me. I got this. I can do it. So I'm very grateful for my team.
Fantastic. And Mayor, I mean, Bloomfield is such a great community. It's been one of those diehard communities. So many good people have come out of that town. And were you excited about the fact that this is, I mean, first of all, how long has this been in existence and how excited were you that this is in existence? And then what plans do you have for making this even a bigger program potentially in the future?
So this program's in its third year, and I was very excited when Chief Venezia came to us and said that he wanted to start this program. So we're very grateful for his leadership and his foresight into seeing that this could be a great program for our community. So the first year it was smaller, the second year it grew, and then this year we have almost 50 girls, I believe, in the camp, grades 4 through 6.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And just for young ladies, for girls to know that truly they can do anything that they'd like. I have three little nieces. Actually, I shouldn't say three little, one little niece and two adult nieces now. And the two adult nieces sees that one became a doctor, one became a speech pathologist, but they did things like this. They tried all different things, and it's so nice that there are ways now for young women to try different things because that wasn't afforded them years ago. It was just no, you're a girl, you're going to do one of these four jobs, and that was just nonsense. We now clearly know you can do anything you want. So thankfully, this is being offered. What message do you hope that girls take away from the camp, not just for today, but for years to come and tell all their friends and relatives?
For me, I want the girls to leave this camp feeling more confident, knowing that they are strong enough to do anything that they are willing to do. Firefighting is not just for men, it's for anyone willing and determined to do the job. So I want them to feel confident.
Well, and how, by the way, how difficult is the training program? How long is it and how difficult is it, Claudia?
It's pretty intense, pretty intense. The initial fire academy is, at least it was the toughest part for me. Having a balance between family and this new career, I think that's the toughest part.
Well, I could imagine. And by the way, just for the record, I live very near the firefighters' home here in northern New Jersey. So a lot of firefighters from all throughout, certainly northern New Jersey, come and visit people here all the time. Firefighters, I think, just do not get the proper amount of respect. Just because people just assume you're there, you'll take care of it. If there's a problem, but they forget that you are risking your life and that you have lots of other things you could choose to do for a living, but you instead choose to run into a crisis when other people don't want to be there. And not to mention, it's not just fires. You go to all sorts of 911 calls, right? People with heart attacks, people who are sick, but you're there for everybody. So I want to thank you, Claudia, certainly. And we want to know, Mayor, what's a website to get more information about this?
So you can follow the Bloomfield Fire Department on their social media channels. So you can follow them on Facebook if you look up Bloomfield Fire Department, and you can also follow them on Instagram. And they are always promoting and documenting these wonderful programs and a lot of the great work that they do throughout our community. You can also go to the Bloomfield Township webpage at bloomfieldtwpnj.com.
That's awesome. And Bloomfield, let me just another shout out for Bloomfield. It's a great place. Go visit Bloomfield, and it's right in the middle of everything. Just a perfectly centrally located. If you're on the Garden State Parkway, exit 148, 149, I know exactly where it is. Been there a zillion times, and it's a great place. Again, it's being held today and tomorrow at Bloomfield Fire Station number 3, the Girls on Fire Youth Camp. Bloomfield Mayor Jenny Mundell and Bloomfield firefighter Claudia Astudillo. Thank you both for joining us this morning. God bless you. Have a great time with the ladies today and tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. It is now 73 degrees at 7:44, a mix of clouds and sun this morning. Maybe becoming a lot cloudier actually later. Could be a stray shower or thunderstorm. Highs about 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with the full Garden State forecast. And we'll take calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. We'll be right back. And welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, 745, taking calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. A mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later. Maybe a stray shower or thunder shower. Thunder, sure. It sounds like Worcestershire sauce. Highs about 90. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast. Mike, I'm literally dabbing The humidity level is
Hmm.
just it's like 2,000. How does it get to 2,000%, by the way? I thought it only ended
I
at 100.
It's just a swimming pool outside. It's a swimming
That's
pool. It feels humid. It feels warm. It's not really going to get much better by this afternoon. It actually gets more humid, Ken, for tomorrow morning. So if you think this is bad, oh, just wait till Thursday morning. And then I know, sighs all around, even from the director booth. But hey, we're going to enjoy a nice, pleasant feel come Friday. That'll dry things out into the weekend. So a nicer feel once we get to this upcoming weekend. Very warm and muggy from Newark. We start off your day feeling like 80 degrees. It'll rise to 91 later on, 88 in West Milford, 89 in Sussex. You get the thunderstorms first later today, around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then the rest of the state by this evening. The drought monitor, well, there is no drought in New Jersey. That's some good news, but we are at a rainfall deficit, about 69% of average. That translates to about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall deficit over the last month. So it has been pretty dry, even though certain areas picked up some more wet weather. The system we've been watching, Erin, that's off the coast of Africa, working its way westward. And as it does, it'll maintain its tropical characteristics, working its way just north of the Caribbean over the next few days. So there it goes, trotting in this Atlantic basin. And expected still to become a major hurricane by Sunday, and then start to move its way in between Puerto Rico and Bermuda, so somewhere away from the Gulf, from the tropics, as it starts to turn its way northward. Beyond that, kind of the long range models give some outputs, but it's not an official forecast track. So going into the end of the month, would you believe slightly below than average temperatures? So we actually could just be in the low 80s for the next 2 weeks, which would be a nice change given how warm it's been. And then rainfall chances are on par with average. There will be a little bit of rain later today and again tomorrow, but beyond that, Friday's looking great. And Saturday and Sunday clears out beautifully. Monday into Tuesday of next week, I think you'll feel that humidity return as temperatures climb back up to around 90. Going into the shore points, I think we have beautiful weather this upcoming weekend. Great weather to enjoy the beaches both days, Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday of next week, not looking too bad either. So a pretty fair couple of days coming up once we get beyond the stubborn humidity today and that rain this afternoon, as well as the rain again tomorrow, but at least nothing severe. So looking pretty good, Ken, across New Jersey into this weekend.
I notice how adjectives like stubborn follow me. They always come around me, like people who would otherwise not use that adjective. All of a sudden, comes to me. All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. And it is as sticky as Mike was saying. 72 degrees right now. It's 73 in Trenton, 72 northern New Jersey, 748. Boy, do we have traffic issues. Do you normally take 287? Okay. I take 287 a lot. So which one? You want to do North Maple? Is that the one we're going to take? Let's go. This is in Harding Township. This is North Maple. So you see this is going about 10 miles an hour. Now the reason that's happening is the left lane of the 3 lanes is closed due to a crash just beyond those trees. So that is 287 in Harding Township. You could pick we have Edison Township, which we showed. We earlier had that breakdown. Okay, so you want to show that cam then, Pam? All right, so this was where we had the accident earlier. This is just a couple of miles away from what we just showed you, and you can see it's heavy now. But before there were still emergency vehicles off in the distance on the sides of the road. But that was stopped. That was parked in both directions as police were taking care of a crash. You could pick any other one there, Pam, because we have a whole bunch on I-287. I want to pick 287 at US 1. 287 literally from end to end. All right, Durham Street. That's a good one. Durham Avenue, rather. So look at that. Stopped. You can see the emergency lights on the right-hand side. We're finding, I don't know what's going on with 287. Maybe it's the fact that people are driving into the sunshine and it's causing some accidents. But I am seeing none other than 11 roadways with scenes like what you're looking at right now, 11 different camera shots. That does not usually happen. So that's weird. Something's up on 287 and it's like the entire length. There are very few spots on 287 right now not looking like that. Just beware if you take 287. We have debris on the Jersey Turnpike outer roadway southbound by interchange 8, which is East Windsor. All lanes are open, but there's a pallet that fell off a truck. It's blocking the left lane, so people are swerving to avoid that. And we have delays on Route 3 westbound from Bloomfield Ave. We just had the mayor of Bloomfield on to Grove Street in Clifton, right near Bloomfield. In fact, all lanes are open, but that's causing some delays going through that area. The Lincoln Tunnel has 20 minutes to 25 minutes going in center tunnel has something going on. The Holland Tunnel is only 10. That's your best bet. And the GWB approach, look at that. It's moving pretty darn well, upper and lower levels into Manhattan. So that is right now your best bet this morning. That and the Holland. Holland's not so bad. 7:50 is our time. Back to school season isn't just about backpacks and new clothes. It's also about making sure that every student has the tools they need to succeed. On New Jersey's Lisa Marie Falbo sat down with Diana Alvear, media relations person for Verizon, to talk about the company's investment in New Jersey communities through its Verizon Innovative Learning Program.
Diana, you have so many exciting things to talk about in terms of Verizon and back to school.
Yes, and one of the things that we're most proud of is how we're investing in the community and specifically New Jersey community. We have a program called Verizon Innovative Learning, and what we do is we partner with nonprofits and also school districts, and we offer lots and lots of different things. So it could be free teacher trainings, it could be resources for parents and students. But one of the things we're really excited about is that we do device distribution events with different school districts, and we have a couple new ones coming up. So we have one coming up in the Violent School District, and then another one in the city of Orange, and we are going to be giving their middle schoolers and high schoolers Chromebooks. We just feel very strongly that no kid should be kept back from succeeding because of digital things or not having the right devices or things. And so this is a really great way for us to partner. Every kid gets the same thing. They learn how to use them. They're able to complete their work well. And we're up to, I think we're at like 600 schools nationwide that we're partnering with. And it's always a great day because the kids are so excited to, now they're getting their own Chromebooks and they can do their schoolwork on it. And we're making sure that they're digitally connected and digitally literate.
So does Verizon fund that, or
Yes.
is it like reused equipment,
Well,
refurbished?
it basically consider the overall investment when schools partner with us is $2.3 billion per school, whether it's in devices or resources or trainings. We also do a lot with STEM. We'll go into lots of different colleges and offer programs for middle schoolers to go to the college. We had a lot of summer showcases that were taking place this summer where kids got to show off how they were, they built a drone, or they were, trying to solve the problem of, how to get clean water to people. So really helping them think in terms of using STEM skills to solve problems. And then we also have some partner schools. We're opening up a Verizon Innovative Learning Lab in the Bronx in September, which is a big deal. So we know what we do well. We know technology. And what we want to do is, hey, here's what we know how to do. And we want to invest in the community and make sure that we share what we do well with the parents and communities that we're invested in.
I love that. I love that you're giving kids especially access. The digital age, there's good and there's
Yes.
bad.
Yes.
But I feel like Verizon, and we'll segue into all of your tech gadgets that you brought here today, you're doing a lot of good and you're protecting our children.
Don't forget, there are a bunch of working moms and dads are at Verizon, and we're always thinking about this because we're front and center with it. I mean, the kitchen is a great place to learn what your kids are doing and what they need. And, obviously having those conversations around, I want a phone, well, you're too young. Maybe it's the right age for a smartwatch that's, got limited access to the internet. So lots and lots of things, conversations happening at the kitchen table with parents and their kids. We just want to make sure that we prepare you. So it's not that we're just selling you phones and devices, but we're also equipping you with the resources. I mentioned to you previously the Parenting in a Digital World. It's an expert-driven blog that we have on the Verizon site where we're talking about all of those kinds of topics. Look, I don't have time to keep up with all the latest when it comes to the digital dilemmas that we're all facing, but these experts are there to help supplement our information and so that we can make the right choices for our families.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Verizon is leading the way.
Yeah, it feels really good to work there and know, I'm so excited about these device distribution events. I will be there, and I just can't wait to see the faces of these kids when they're able to get their hands on technology and know that, hey, they're ready to succeed this year.
Where can people find out more information about the events and everything you have going on?
Yeah, just go to Verizon.com. There's a news center there. We're always posting the latest and greatest of all the things that we're doing. And it's not just a New Jersey thing, it's a nationwide thing. So you never know. We're just popping up in schools. We're kind of stuff like that, but we just want to enable as many kids as possible to, feel good about going back to school. It's always like what outfit am I going to wear? You don't have to worry about what laptop you're taking.
And that's a big, big pressure
Yeah.
taken off. So thank you for doing that on behalf of everyone watching.
Oh, thank you for having us.
All right. That is awesome. And so many, we keep forgetting so many kids going back to school. They come back and they don't have, the basics. So many kids just don't. My mother-in-law was a teacher. My mother worked in school administration, and you have a lot of kids whose parents just don't have the money to get them basic stuff. So it's great. God bless Verizon for doing that. That's super. Thank you for that. It is now 7:56. One swimmer has died. Four others were rescued after being caught in a dangerous rip current at Webster Avenue Beach Monday evening. The Seaside Heights Fire Department responded, deploying jet skis to save the distressed swimmers. All five were rushed to Community Medical Center in Toms River. One man was pronounced dead. The other four now stable. The beach was unguarded at the time. The lifeguards had just ended their shift. Authorities note this follows another recent rip current incident involving 10 others over the weekend. In Patterson, frustration mounts as residents face a fifth day with little or no water after a 143-year-old water main break on Friday. Nearly 200,000 customers remain under a boil water advisory, some relying on portable showers and toilets at a local high school. The city now distributing free bottled water. The repairs should be finished this morning, though the advisory to boil water may last until at least Friday. Wait till you hear the clear to drink from the faucet. It is 7:56. A New Jersey Transit bus crashed into a PSE&G utility truck in Newark yesterday, 15th Avenue and Bedford Street, injuring 14 people, including 12 bus passengers, the bus driver, and the truck driver. All were taken to University Hospital with injuries, including head and facial wounds. The collision flipped the truck onto the sidewalk, toppling a utility pole and cutting power to a nearby senior residence apartments and traffic lights when it was 93 out. A witness reported the truck was stationary when the bus swerved into it. The FAA seeking to extend flight caps at Newark Liberty until October 2026 due to ongoing staffing shortages. The current limit of 34 flights an hour, which began this summer, was set to expire by the year's end. The extension could make catching flights into and out of Newark more challenging through next summer. New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver vows to continue fighting for congressional oversight of immigration detention centers despite facing federal charges herself for allegedly assaulting officers during a chaotic May visit to Newark's Delaney Hall. Speaking at a Jersey City event, McIver called the charges, which carry a potential 17-year sentence, stressful, but she remains defiant. She was joined by Representative Rob Menendez. McIver pleaded not guilty with her trial set for November. The two criticized conditions at Delaney Hall and Trump's immigration policies, including a proposed cap at Fort Dix. By the way, when people later toured Delaney Hall, everybody said not only was everything up to speed, but it was better than most other detention facilities they had seen. And Fort Dix was used by the Obama administration for several years to house immigrants from Haiti, and there wasn't a complaint lodged by McIver at that time. But now that it's being used by the Trump administration, suddenly it's an issue. 7:58. Pharmaceutical giant Merck is cutting 6,000 jobs globally to slash $3 billion in costs by 2027. In New Jersey, 58 positions at its Rahway headquarters will be eliminated by November 14th, per a WARN Act notice. Merck, employing over 8,000 in the state, remains committed to New Jersey. They've invested nearly $3 billion here since 2018, and the company also plans on closing its Northumberland County, Pennsylvania plant. That will impact 163 people there. Dermarite Industries, a New Jersey-based manufacturer, voluntarily recalling multiple hand soaps, cleansers, and antiseptic products due to contamination with the so-called Burkholderia capacia bacteria that can cause serious, potentially life-threatening infections, especially in immunocompromised individuals or those with chronic lung conditions. The CDC warning the bacteria found in soil, water, and contaminated products may resist antibiotics, complicating treatment. Effective products have expiration dates July of 2025 to February 2027. It is 74 degrees now, 7:59. When we come back, the Saturday, August 16th, Carpets to Go in Brick is rolling out comfort with free carpets for students and teachers. We're going to have the details for you, and we'll take calls at 888-658-0234. Mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm, highs about 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta comes back in just a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Morning, seen daily at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, X. We're streamed on Substack, Rumble, and Twitch at twitch.tv/OnNewJersey, and we will be back in 30. morning to you. It is 8 a.m., Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato taking calls at 888-658-0234. Clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later. Could be a stray shower or thunderstorm. Very humid. Highs about 90. We head to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the shticky. Shticky. How to spell it with an SH. Shticky.
Yes,
Garden
it
State
is
forecast. Good
sticky
morning, Mike.
today, and it's going to get even stickier this afternoon, and the ultimate stickiness tomorrow, because with highs that will feel like they're around 95 degrees thanks to all of the heat and humidity combined. The actual air temperature already approaching 80 at 8 o'clock this morning in Newark. That's warm, and that's just 2 degrees away from our average afternoon high. So yes, it'll feel very warm today. We're running about 5 to 7 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. But thanks to the sunshine warming us up and the dew points very high. Anytime the dew points are in the low and mid 70s, it feels quite tropical. Anytime you're in the upper 70s, it's like rainforest levels of humidity. That's what we experience later on this afternoon into tonight, because the rain that comes in doesn't necessarily cool us down. It just adds to the steam bath feel that'll be around into tomorrow morning. As far as the beaches are concerned, this morning looks great with a little bit of a breeze coming off of the water into this evening. But again, you will have the showers and storms later on this afternoon as well. So a good beach morning, but by the afternoon, gets a little cloudy with those showers and storms that come in. You're good until about 2 o'clock. That's when I think the first rounds of wet weather arrive, keeping temperatures warm. We're holding in the low 80s with that high humidity throughout this evening. And the storms that come through will be quick moving, not too powerful, certainly not severe, and giving us a good dose of rain into this evening. Tomorrow morning has another round of clouds to start. Then we break out into some sunshine by the early afternoon, and that'll help trigger off another round of thunderstorms later on in the day. Again, nothing too strong as that front pushes through. It's a weak front, just drying out the air, but it still keeps us warm going into Friday. So highs eventually rebound back into the upper 80s by Friday afternoon, albeit with a more comfortable feel to finish out the day. Beyond that, Friday night into Saturday could have a few clouds around, but overall it's a dry looking weekend with a comfortably less humid start on Saturday, and then we see Sunday climb back up into the low 90s. So humid today, rain tomorrow, and then by Friday and Saturday, back to sunshine. We like that, just in time to wrap up the last few weekends, Ken, here in unofficial summer in New Jersey.
Unofficial. I like official summer myself, but that's just me. I don't want to share my personal information too much. Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate you. 74 degrees now, northern New Jersey. It is 73 degrees in Trenton. And we've been having problems up and down I-287 all morning. Let's take another look right now. This is 287 at Maple. And we have had, take a look at that. So you see that bit of a slowdown right now. Apparently, that is due to a crash that occurred in about half an hour ago, and that's blocking the left lane just beyond those trees. So that's the problem we're having there. But literally, we have about 15 cameras up and down 287 with about 2 or 3 exceptions. Every camera we take, there are problems on 287. So I don't know if that's just the sun hitting people's eyes or what, but if you intend on going somewhere on 287 this morning, give yourselves a little extra travel time. We have debris reported New Jersey Turnpike outer roadway southbound by interchange 8 in East Windsor. All lanes are open, but there's a pallet being cleared off on the left shoulder right now. And we have delays on Route 15 southbound by north of Taylor Road, rather, to Berkshire Valley Road in Jefferson Township. All lanes are open, but there's a big slowdown through there. The approaches to the Hudson River right now, it is 10 minutes crossing at the Holland. It is 20 minutes at the Lincoln Tunnel right now. Center Tube specifically, they're telling us, is very heavy. GWB upper and lower levels actually moving very well, only about 10 minutes to get across to Manhattan. 8:05 is our time, and this coming Saturday, August 16th, Carpets to Go in Brick is rolling out comfort, literally, with their 5th annual college dorm and teacher classroom rug giveaway. Joining us is founder and CEO Glenn Scher. The event, by the way, kicks off at 10 a.m., though the line starts at 8 a.m. They don't open the doors till 10, but you can start lining up at 8. Going to be free rugs for college students and teachers who show up wearing their school shirt. Has to have the school logo on there. It's part of Glenn's mission to give back to the community, something that he has done since he opened New Jersey's largest in-stock carpet store 15 years ago. Good morning to you, Glenn.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. I looked at last year's. You had a pile of people. This is
It was
huge. First of all, how many people did you end up getting into your store last year when you did this?
So last year we gave away 80 rugs in our brick location. We actually did it a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago in our Howell location. The line was actually wrapped around the building, and everything. It was a total giveaway. It was rugs, it was hot dogs, it was waters, it was donuts, and we were accepting donations. I had two nonprofits on the premises. It's a day of giving back. It's just so important to give back in a world of a take me society. I believe that, I started this with my both of my boys went to college and they needed a rug, and
Mhm.
of course I supplied them with a rug. But there's so many kids out there that just need a little bit of comfort while they're away, and it's a big deal when you're going away to school. um,
Right. In fact, I'm
so
gonna
that
pause you. Let's go back to the start. How many years ago was it, and how did you start the whole concept and say, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's do a giveaway." Talk about that. Let's go right to the roots for those who don't know.
All right. So I actually have two locations in Carpet, and I was always taught to give back to community, because if you take care of the community will take care of you. And I decided to start this 5 years ago, and it was a slow give, right? And then the second year, I promoted it more and more on social media, because that's very important to do.
Mhm.
And it grew, and it got infectious, and it got more infectious, and it's really become an event. I mean, people wait for this all year. It is our biggest event, and you'd say, why is it the biggest event? You're giving it away, but it does come back
Right.
to you. So, and it makes me feel good. So,
And talk about the charity aspect of it, because this is it. You're right. There is something contagious about giving. Then it makes other people want to give, and then someone else hears about it and they want to give. It really is contagious. So talk about the charity aspect.
so I had two nonprofits here. One was Jar of Hope, and I had another one that's called Jake's Got This, and they had tents here on the property 2 weeks ago in my Howell location, and it's about giving back. And when I post on Facebook and social media, that's the aspect of the whole thing, is we're giving back. So if you can give something, um, and it really became unbelievable. I had actually a customer that came in, and he said, listen, I don't need a rug. I saw this on social media. You did a great thing for me a few years ago. He reminded me what the situation was, and he came here with a checkbook, and he gave both of the nonprofits a $500 check each,
See?
which it just brings people out. You want to do good for somebody else, you don't know how to do it. So if I give that invitation, basically, it was unbelievable. And other businesses, I had another business that paid for all the food. Everybody wants to be a part. It's really just becoming a growing sensation, I think.
And that's what community used to be all about years ago, when people were not just looking at their phones and they actually talked and did things together. And that's where, you don't need government. You need just good people. You need good people stepping up like you.
Yeah.
And
It-
one person starts with the example, and then everybody realizes what a good thing it is and wants to be part of it. God bless you for doing that. Glenn, how long does it take to prep for this event each year?
this event takes us about 2.5 months. We actually are making all the rugs. We do all the cutting here. We do all the finishing and the binding here. My staff really puts in some long hours, but you know, the smiles on these kids' faces, and now that we're doing it for teachers, also just the smiles of everybody. It's just it's really our payback. And people talk about it all year, and it really, again, just becomes infectious. But you're right, it does take one person, and then at the end of the day, it takes a village, and a village could change lives, and it could change,
Hmm.
we could change the world. Listen, I'm not a political guy, but um, you know just do
No,
what
but
you think. It does.
that's what it's
It's
about. That I think we've gotten, what I think it is? I think people found it over the years, and with the best of intentions, they just said, you know what? We'll pay more in taxes, let government do X, Y, and Z. It takes away the personal aspect. When it becomes an official, you must pay us taxes and we will then do this program and that program, it's not the same thing. When local people say, because of what I feel here and here, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to take some carpets. I'm going to spend extra hours for months creating these carpets to help kids out who don't have the money and whatever. We'll help them out, and then we'll see what happens. That's what America is about. I mean, you literally define America when you do that. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And hopefully other businesses say, you know, we're going to do that too. We're going to give free haircuts to the kids and hopefully they'll donate to these 5 causes or whatever. And it teaches such an invaluable lesson to younger people who are just coming into themselves at this age, 18, 19, whatever. They're learning about what it is to be an adult. So, what are the rules, by the way, for taking home a free rug? They don't just show up and say, "Give me a rug." What are the rules, Glenn?
Now, first of all, they have to come here happy, right? We actually, I have a day here. You know, it's just an up day. The college kids have to be wearing a shirt of the college that they're going to. The teachers have to wear a shirt of the schools that they teach at. You know, it's just a happy day. It's just a happy day, and you know, there's no rule. You know, you don't have to fill out this, and it's not a lottery. Everybody gets a rug. You know, and it's grown exponentially throughout the years. It's insane. It makes my heart smile to do this. And you said, you know, it's a good example of America, and that's very heartfelt to me because when I started the company, you know, one of my taglines is "We're America's favorite carpet and flooring store." My everything is red, white, and blue. You know, I'm just love America. So
Yeah, and you define it. You literally, if we had a country full of you, it would be a beautiful place. Fortunately, there are enough good people in this country to make it very, very nice to live here.
yeah.
Really, and you're the glowing example. It's great. New Jersey has a lot of good people. You find that, and what's nice is again, like we said, when one person like you stands out and says, "Hey, let's do this." That's when all the other great people come forward and say, "Yeah, let's do that." And you just see that. And that's when you get the churches and the temples and the mosques and the schools and everybody comes out and says, "Yeah, we're a community. Let's all help each other out." And you know, not everybody's in a good place, but let's help them to become in a good place. Like you said, let's be happy. Show up that day with a big smile on your face and tell all your friends about what's going on. Tell us about any future plans that you can share for Carpet to Go's community outreach.
I have in my mind, which my mind works very different than most business owners. I just think outside the box. I'm probably going to be doing this in October for first responders, doctors, nurses, utility workers, um, police officers, fire, you know, the people that take care of us. You know, I think we need to take care of them. So that's going to probably be another event in October. I'll keep everybody updated. I do a tremendous amount on social media. Uh, you know, we're just very community driven, and whatever I really put my mind to, I embrace it. And you know, things that I do, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but it's proven. Um, it does change things, and it again,
Yeah.
and it teaches my kids, and you know, it's just wonderful. It's just a wonderful thing.
And they're
So.
lucky to have you as a dad. What's a website for more information, Glenn?
So my website is carpets to go, nj.com.
All right,
And I have,
carpets to go.
yeah, carpets to go, nj.com. I have 2 locations, one in Howell and one in Brick. And we have grown to be New Jersey's largest in-stock carpet store. We do make area rugs. We can make them any size, any shape. You know, we have a nice footprint in the community again. And, you know, if anybody has a question with anything, you know, you can always call. We'll always help you out. So.
It is the 5th annual College Dorm and Teacher Classroom Rug Giveaway. This Saturday, August 16th, line starts at 8 a.m. The doors open 10 a.m. at Carpets to Go in Brick. Founder and CEO Glenn Scher, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the best this weekend. I hope you have lines so far you can't even see where the end is. You're an awesome man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, and come on again anytime. And if you do the fall event, definitely come on. We want to hear about it. Thank you,
I love
sir.
it. Thank you.
You bet. Okay. It is 8:15 right now. When we come back, we're going to take a trip to the Caribbean. Eric, the travel guy Hastings, talks all about Jamaica in just a moment. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:16, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Clouds and sun this morning, cloudy later, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm, certainly more humid today. Highs about 90. Right to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Schwitzy.
Yeah.
We didn't use that yet. A good Yiddish word, Schwitzy Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Kenny. It's going to feel quite humid later on this afternoon. It already feels very damp. You head down the shore, you get a cooler breeze off of the water, but that humidity will smack you as soon as you get out of the car. Even with all of the thunderstorms forecast west of the Parkway, beginning around 2 o'clock, you'll tap into those storms later today as well, down by the beaches. Won't see much smoke today. A lot of that wildfire smoke from Canada stays in Canada today, but it will bring back the threat of some storms by this afternoon. You see those rolling through western Pennsylvania right now, expected to arrive in New Jersey shortly after the lunch hour. With the UV index very high at an 8 until then, plan on that very humid weather to get going throughout this afternoon because the rain that comes in keeps the humidity high, but doesn't really cool us off even into tomorrow. It's very warm, very humid, sticky rainforest levels of humidity throughout the beaches tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll see the cooling effect and the drier weather take over by Thursday night into Friday morning, and even by Friday night looking okay. So very pleasant for Saturday morning as that drier weather slowly builds in for the start of the weekend. It doesn't last because we're back to the humidity by Sunday, and then Monday to Tuesday of next week, a few passing clouds and overall looking, well, like it should going into next week for the almost end of unofficial summer, wrapping up the last week of August with some passing clouds. So for this weekend, plan on a little bit of humidity to get going, but it'll feel quite comfortable, and then more humidity with the southwesterly breeze builds in as temperatures climb to 92 by Sunday afternoon. Overall, it's going to be a pretty wet finish to the day. More rain on the way for tomorrow, even though there'll be some breaks in the clouds, but really looking forward to that weekend forecast, Ken. Lots of sun expected.
We were looking forward to the weekend forecast on Monday. That's a good thing.
True. Yeah.
It's never a problem. I like that. I'm with you, pal. All right. It is 75 degrees. Thank you, Mike. 75 here in northern New Jersey, 73 in Trenton. And somewhere else where it's a little cooler in terms of the tropical breezes, friendly people, and amazing food. We're going to talk about a tropical getaway that is quite enticing. Add to that it's just a 3.5 hour flight from Newark Airport, and it makes it hard to resist. We are talking Jamaica. I recently spoke with Erik, the travel guy of erikthetravelguy.com. That's Erik with a K, about this beautiful destination. Thinking about getting away, wanting to do a little travel? Well, joining me right now is Erik, the travel guy Hastings, my good friend. He has a website, erikthetravelguy.com. That's Erik with a K. Don't misspell it. He also is the host of the series Beyond Your Backyard, which used to be on PBS, and you could find it on YouTube now. Wonderful videos. By the way, you should do that for a living. It's You're really good at it. And he also runs a wonderful dinner theater for murder mystery fans down in Orlando, Florida right now. Erik, the travel guy Hastings, thanks for being on this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Always excellent to be here.
Well, it is great to have you. We should talk about travel deals and when to travel. And specifically, we want to mention Jamaica today. So let's first talk about the best way to travel, the best way to make your plans. Because a lot of people, they talk with their friends and they say, gee, such and such just went to Jamaica. Maybe we'll just get the best plan we could find online. But maybe you should do a little research first. So talk about if you were to make plans, say, to go to Jamaica.
If you're going to make plans to go to Jamaica, one of the first things I say, I think that's a great suggestion, by the way. I really do. Jamaica and I, we are friends. I love the sandals people. I love the beaches people. I love all those resorts down there. I love the locals. The locals care and understand how important tourism is to the economy. And so Jamaica is a great suggestion. But the number one question I would always ask is, where do you want to go? What do you want to feel on your next vacation? Because the reality of it is we're not all the same, of course. A lot of people love to bring a book or two, bring a couple of magazines, what are those, and bring their sunglasses and sit on a beach for a week. Now that to me sounds like torture. I would die within like a day. I would be bored out of my mind. But that's same place, right? Same Jamaica, different way to experience it. So I think that's a real conversation I'd like you to have with your whomever you're traveling with. Say, what do we want to do here? Do we want to explore? Do we want to do ATVing? Do we want to do, is it really just sun and surf? And so if Jamaica ticks those boxes, great. But maybe Curacao does, or maybe Dominica does, or maybe Puerto Rico does. You never know if you're talking Caribbean in that region. But Jamaica is always a good suggestion. I call it one of the starter Caribbean places to go because the tourism infrastructure is alive and well in Jamaica.
Yeah, and there's like you said, there's so much to do. Just like you mentioned Curacao. I mean, I've been to Aruba, and Aruba's great if you just want beach, but there's really not that much more to do. And on the 1 or 2 days a year that there's rain, you're really in the hotel. There's nothing. You're just that's it. There's like what is it, 30 hotels on the island. It's a little island. You have the DV trees and some nice little restaurants. It's if you go to Aruba on a regular basis, you've eaten at all the restaurants at some point. I mean, they
It's
do
very
exhaust
true.
themselves. But Jamaica is
It's
the
true.
second most populous island in the Caribbean outside of Cuba, and there's
Yeah.
tons to do. It has a big infrastructure. If you go to Kingston, I mean, there's a lot of crime in Kingston, but there's a lot of great spots too. If you wanted to do the big city thing, there are places to go, and it's kind of cool to enjoy the culture.
Yeah, it really is. And again, if you look, the State Department is always going to be issuing warnings, travel warnings to pay attention. But again, I would remind you, you should always be paying attention when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling outside of your home country. Remember, we've talked about this before. The laws of the place that you are, those are the governing laws. And so, you do need to pay attention to things. What are the local cultures, and do your best to respect the local cultures, same thing with the language. I mean, look, Jamaica, there's plenty of English spoken down there, but the reality of it is there's lots of places where English is a second language. And if you can learn a few phrases, but yes, you have got a lot of options in Jamaica. And one of the things, Montego Bay is one of the best places, has the best air service, or some of the best air service in the Caribbean from major gateways, certainly here in the Northeast. So you're going to have no problem getting there. And I think that's something that's also very important to consider.
Yeah, and Montego Bay's nickname is Mo Bay. That's the place where I vacationed. Mo Bay is a great location because, first off, from a beach perspective, you have the old what used to be known as the Ritz-Carlton Rose Hall, right? I don't know what it's called today, but it's
Mhm.
just one of the most regal properties. And remember, for those who don't know, the Jamaica was part of Great Britain, so there's still the high-end British high tea. You can go to hotels and still have high tea, and they dress impeccably. And it's just a beautiful place. And the people are so cool. When I got to Mo Bay and I got out of the airport, I was greeted by a taxi driver with a sign who stopped me for politely. He stopped me and he said, "Sir, you are the person whom the government of Jamaica has officially assigned to me to you. So I am officially your taxi driver. Nice to meet you," and handed us his card. And I thought that was I mean, I'm sure he does it with everyone, but it was such a
Of
clever
course.
way to approach it. And he said, "So
Yeah.
I am at your beck and call while you are here in Jamaica." And I looked at my husband. I said, "What the hell?" And we got in his cab. He could have been an axe murderer for all I know. He was the nicest guy. He said, "What kind of Jamaica do you want to experience?" And I said, "First of all, I'm a foodie. I want to eat where you eat." And he stopped the cab and he looked, he turned around. He said, "Are you sure?" And I
Sure
said,
about
"I
that.
want to go where you go. I want to go to chow down where you chow down." He picked us up. He says, "All right, go and enjoy the beach today. Get ready at the hotel. I'll come by and get you at about 6 o'clock and I'll take you to my friend's restaurant." Now, talk about down a dirt road, make a left turn. I thought we were being kidnapped. I figured we're not coming
Yeah,
back. He took us to
that's
this
right.
hole in the wall, and I paid for dinner for the three of us. It was him, Chris, and me, my husband. I paid for dinner. We had like 5 courses. I think it was $20 for the three of us. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
was spicy as hell. I will say this because I asked for it, but it was
Yeah.
the best food I ever had. It was real, authentic Jamaican down home, and the people treated us like just gold. And he introduced us to everyone. Everybody was a cousin of his. Everybody was a cousin of his. We had the best time. And then he got us home and he says, don't do the beach tomorrow. It's supposed to rain early in the morning. I'll pick you up and I'll take you to the museum. And that, so he had our whole itinerary mapped out. We had the best vacation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have
That's
to let go.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Obviously, you need to be safe. Of course, you need to be vigilant. You need to pay attention to your surroundings. You need to not be wearing expensive, flashy jewelry, which I know you don't when you travel, Ken. But I
Yeah.
mean, the fact of the matter is, if you ask some very basic questions of the locals, they'll tell you, oh, and they don't want anything to happen to you. They're not going to send you to a place that's not safe. Listen, there's unsafe neighborhoods in every town in the world. Just don't
Mhm.
go to them. There, it's as simple as that. They don't usually bother you. You don't need to bother them. We're good. Let it go. Let there be separation. I think one of the things that I learned on my last trip, we've done 2 episodes there. We just did one in the day in the life of a all-inclusive resort general manager. It was so interesting in Montego Bay at the original Sandals property, because when you talk Jamaica, you can't. I mean, you got Club Med, but Butch was legendary down there. I mean, the original, the first swim up pool bar in the world
Mhm.
was at that property at Sandals. I mean, stuff like that. They were the first all inclusive to put hair dryers in the room. It was a big deal back in the 1980s, etc. But doing that episode and learning about why the locals are employed and how long they stay at these resorts for 25, 30, 35 years is really remarkable.
Yeah, it's so cool. And by the way, an ounce of kindness goes a long way. Showing somebody respect. If you're lost down a street and you just say, "Excuse me, can you help me to get blah blah blah?" They'll take you there. I mean, but don't be, too many Americans are very condescending and assume that the whole world owes them something. Don't do that. Just be that nice to somebody. You'll get 10 times the niceness back. It's just a wonderful culture with wonderful people, and they know, like specifically in Montego Bay, their culture is based on tourism, so they're gonna roll out the red carpet for you and make you feel very welcome.
Well, and
It's a
what a
fun
what a
place.
great vacation too, Ken. I mean, look, if you fly into Montego Bay, which I always forget which part of the island it's on, it's not that important
Right.
for our discussion, but it's on I think it's the north. Anyway, you fly
Yes.
into Montego Bay, you go all the way to Negril, and you'll see a different Jamaica in Negril. And people who right now are listening to this who are Negril people, they're like, oh, yeah, Negril's not like Mobay. It's not like Falmouth. It's not like so. People who love to go over there and they go to gyms and they see the people jumping off the cliffs and it's just and the sunset's amazing, etc. Again, these are the type, because here's the thing, here's the secret about travel, right? The whole reason I do this whole gig and have for the better part of 3 decades is because you just don't know which one of those vacations is going to change your life forever for the better.
Mhm.
Not to say it was bad going in, but you just don't know. So you got to go out there and try it. And lo and behold, you'll find something that speaks to you and it'll change your life.
Yeah, and Jamaica, by the way, you can go from the inexpensive to the expensive, but don't expect you're going to get high-end luxury if that's what you're looking for at one of the cheaper motels. They have, just like here, they have more services at the expensive places, fewer services at the little places. But if you're looking for just a beach and a pina colada, you can go at a low end, and that's okay. If you want a little bit more than that, you're going to impress a girlfriend or boyfriend, spend and go for something more. But you have everything on an island like Jamaica. It's a great place. Eric, the travel guy Hastings, that's ericthetravelguy.com, Eric with a K, and his YouTube videos, of course, which are beyond your backyard. You could still see them. They were on PBS years ago, and now, of course, they're on YouTube. You could see them. They're great. Check it out. Eric, you did such a good job on those videos. I love checking them out. It makes me feel like I'm on vacay when I see them. Eric, the travel guy Hastings, thanks as always for being with us today.
Thank you, sir.
And we have 73 degrees right now at 8:30. When we come back, Rider University joins a groundbreaking mission to map the universe like never before. We'll explain. And the phone lines are open. We'll take calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta says mix of sun and clouds this morning. Becoming cloudy later. Could be a stray shower or thunderstorm with highs around 90. The full Garden State forecast in a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Morning, seen daily at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News on Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, X, and streamed live on Substack, Rumble, and Twitch. We're coming right back.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Hoffman, host of Energy Matters. Join me every night at 6 p.m. where we're discussing energy affordability, challenges, and solutions with stakeholders and elected officials. Join me weekdays at 6 p.m. on Energy Matters on ONNJ.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025, 73 degrees now, very humid at 8:31. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. A mix of clouds and sun this morning, certainly becoming cloudy later. Could be a shower or thunderstorm in parts. Highs around 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with a very, no, I won't say dank. Dank would be nonstop rain. Let's say the very schwitzy. I like schwitzy. Detailed Garden
Yeah,
State
yeah,
forecast. Good morning,
that'll
Mike.
work. That'll work. Good morning to you. Yeah, we have some clouds already across southern New Jersey. The high, thin variety that just add to that humid feel. You can see them working in down the shore. This just showing up in the last few minutes on the visible satellite. But something else I want to point out is right now in northeastern Pennsylvania, a couple thunderstorms developing there. You see the lightning as that right there, working just off frame north of Wilkes-Barre. So the storms are approaching and they'll develop and arrive here throughout the next few hours into New Jersey. They won't make it to the shore until after 2 o'clock, but you might run into them as soon as, say, noon time frame there from Camden and Glassboro, as temperatures are very warm this morning and that warm weather leading to the storms later on today. Plenty of poor air quality again in northern New Jersey, not as bad as it has been. It's getting better day by day, but at least with the average high of 85 degrees, we beat that by 7 degrees today, make it up to 92 over in Newark. So here are the storms working in from the west, and as the clouds take over, giving us our gray sky through the afternoon, we will pick up a decent amount of rain. Nothing terribly heavy, but certain areas could pick up 1 to 2 inches. Okay, this is more realistic, especially throughout the end of the day, with the heaviest of the rain happening there towards central New Jersey. Basically, it's where the rain is needed, given how we're running at about a 2 to 4 inch rainfall deficit just for the month. Water temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, feeling great. High tide later on tonight, closer to midnight tonight. Into all of the beaches. And with the sunny start to the day, we have that rain coming in after 2. It's a moderate risk of rip currents today due to the winds at the beaches. And overall, looking great until about 1 or 2 o'clock. So that's where the storms begin to push through. They eventually make it to the coastline by dinner time. Overall, the afternoon and evening will feel quite humid, muggy weather lasts into tomorrow. We have another round of storms tomorrow afternoon, also not severe, just some more wet weather. And then that will clear for a very dry weekend. You can see this front pushing on by. That will hold a lot of the rain around until Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. And then we clear out nicely by Friday, leading to a pretty gorgeous weekend. Lots of sunshine with low humidity on Saturday. Temperatures will feel quite pleasant throughout the day on Saturday. Sunday, a bit more humid, 92 as the high. And then by Monday and Tuesday, we cool it down into the low 80s. That'll feel nice, closer to average for a change. Very pleasant weather, kind of going with that trend of slightly below average than forecast for the end of the month. The shore points also very wet and humid throughout today and tomorrow, and then by Friday starting to dry things out. The weekend looking awesome, and then Monday and Tuesday of next week very pleasant. Lots of dry weather ahead. Going into next week, it'll feel quite pleasant about a week from now with that low level of humidity, the temperatures that only reach the low 80s. Very comfortable weather on the way, Ken. Just going to make it through the last few days of high humidity here in New Jersey.
All right. Hi. It's only since we legalized marijuana in the state that we have high humidity. I just want to make that clear. Prior to that, it was just average humidity. Now it's high. This is
Yes.
why they call them dad jokes. They're really bad. And I'm not even a dad. Go figure. Thank you very much, Mike. We'll check back with you in a little bit, 8:35. And it is 73 very humid degrees. We have one issue right now we want to show you. This is in the Clifton area on the Garden State Parkway. A lot of traffic here. And this is just, it turns out just volume. I looked this up. We don't have any accidents to report. It looks like there's an accident, but according to what I have here, there is no accident. That's just volume in the Clifton area, Bloomfield, Clifton, exit 150 of the Garden State Parkway, and that's northbound. So just actually, no, that would be southbound. You see the sun is off to your left. So that's southbound. But nonetheless, just beware of that if you're headed southbound Garden State Parkway by exit 150 area. We do have a disabled tractor trailer reported right now on the GWB upper level eastbound, the Upper Trans-Manhattan Expressway. So that's as you get over into Manhattan. The left lane is blocked right now. That's causing some problems. But when you look at the New Jersey side, it looks like it's moving fine. But I think that's going to cause some buildup delays in the next 15 minutes. Just beware if you're headed to the GWB. And we have debris on the New Jersey Turnpike outer roadway southbound by Interchange 8, which is East Windsor. All lanes are open. There's a pallet in the left shoulder. Actually, a number of pallets fell off a truck. People are swerving to avoid that, as you can imagine. And some delays on Route 3, westbound from the Garden State Parkway to Grove Street in Clifton, with all lanes open right now. And the approaches to the Hudson River on the Lincoln and Holland Tunnel approaches. Right now, the Holland Tunnel is only 10 minutes across and 20 at the Lincoln. 8:36 is our time. Rider University joins a groundbreaking mission to map the universe like never before. The Vera C. Rubin Observatory, perched on a mountaintop in Chile, has begun its 10-year quest to create the most detailed map of the cosmos in human history. With its massive 3.2 billion pixel camera, the observatory is already revealing galaxies, nebulas, and thousands of undiscovered asteroids undiscovered until now. Rider University is part of this global effort, opening doors for students and researchers to explore the universe's biggest mysteries, from dark energy to the search for a possible ninth planet. Yeah, we're not talking Pluto. That's no longer a ninth planet. They've ruled that not a planet. So we're looking for an actual ninth planet. Joining us now is Dr. John BochanskI, who is Associate Director and Chair of Rider's Department of Computer Science and Physics. Dr. BochanskI, it's good to have you on. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ken. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you know what? The more I read about you online and all you've done and all that happens at Ryder, I started to get a headache because I realized how much thinking is involved. And when you see these teeny tiny dots that move that much from night to night, I'm like, how do your eyes spot that and say, oh, that's an asteroid? Is it just does it help in the era of computers to help find this stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To do the kind of project that we want to do with Rubin and the Rubin Observatory, you definitely need computers to make it happen. You mentioned the asteroid project. That in and of itself is going to be groundbreaking. There's going to be a census of the solar system, unlike one that humanity has ever had. To date, we know of about 1 million asteroids. Some of those are ones that zip by us every once in a while. One of those had a really bad day for the dinosaurs. But after Rubin has done its observations, we're probably going to add about 5 million asteroids to that original 1 million. Just
the
to give you a
goal
sense
here,
of,
Doctor, I don't mean to step on you. The goal here is to prevent, or in the event that there's an asteroid that could be headed right for us and do to us what it did to the dinosaurs. Is that the idea here, to keep an eye on every one of those asteroids?
It's a good side benefit for the science. The astronomers on the project are really just excited about learning how the solar system has developed and grown over time, and just getting a really good census of what is out there is the first step, and that's what the Rubin Observatory is coming to provide for us.
So talk about what makes this project so unique and why it has the potential for Nobel Prize worthy discoveries. Is it because of the size of the telescope, the integration of computer technology? What is it that makes this so unique?
So it's not the biggest telescope ever made. But it is the scale of the project is probably the largest ever undertaken. So you're talking about thousands of people all over the globe, including many folks in New Jersey, that have contributed to the project. We are using the largest digital camera ever made by humanity. As you mentioned in the intro, it's about 3.2 billion pixels. It's not going to fit on your phone. And it's about the size of an SUV. And to build something like that takes a lot of effort. And the duration of the planned mission is over a decade. And that is also unique in astronomy.
So you're talking about, when you talk about the people around the world, excuse me, doctor, this is part of the LSST Discovery Alliance. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, so the LSST Discovery Alliance is a group that supports the mission of the Vera Rubin Observatory. So it has to do a little bit with exactly how you can do fundraising. But to give you a sense of the scale of the project, I was just at a meeting in Tucson, Arizona. There were approximately like 500 people there, and that was a small fraction of the actual number of folks that are involved with this project. So there are thousands of astronomers all over the globe that are really excited to be using this data. And what's great about it is, like, for the first time, I've been talking about this project since 2008 and thinking about it in terms of the future tense, but it's here now, right? We're taking data, we're delivering these products, and we're exploring the universe in a way that's never been done before.
I love this. And pardon me, doctor, little frog in my throat today. You said 3.2 billion pixels, not your smartphone, or at least not your smartphone yet. Give it a couple of years. I'm sure the smartphones will have 3.2 billion pixels. It's headed that way. And of course, back in the day, because I was so into astronomy as a kid, I remember the earlier astronomers, I mean, they used photographic plates, and all you needed was like a speck of dust getting on the photographic plate. And then you were wondering, well, is that something I'm seeing or not? That doesn't happen in the world of digital anymore, obviously, because we're not developing film, clearly. And that's what makes this so fascinating to me, because that's kind of where I left off when they were still using photographic plates. The observatory now is hunting for answers about dark energy and dark matter. What is that about? And then even a ninth planet. When I was a kid, Pluto was the ninth planet. In early 2000s, they said it's not a planet. So what are we looking for? Basically shifts in the different orbits of our planets, assuming that there would be a ninth planet. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so I'll talk about the ninth planet first, and then get back to dark matter and dark energy. There's growing evidence that there may be a ninth planet in the outer reaches of our solar system. Not Pluto, but Pluto's neighbors have been jostled around and show patterns in their orbits. And so one of the explanations for that jostling and the patterns that we've observed is the potential existence of a ninth planet. This thing would be about the size of Neptune. It would have a weird orbit compared to everything else that we know in the solar system in terms of planets. But we haven't seen it yet. Rubin is an ideal discovery engine for Planet 9. The way that it operates, it's going to take 30-second images and basically repeat that process and mosaic the entire night sky over about 3 nights. And then it's going to repeat that process for 10 years. And so we're going to get really good coverage of what's happening in the universe over a time scale that we haven't explored before. It's essentially going to be the best movie of the
I'm sorry,
universe
please
ever.
continue.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a game-changing data set. Now we talked about the solar system for dark matter and dark energy. Dark energy is really the big question mark. It makes up most of the universe. We don't know what it is, but we do see its effects. Essentially, it's causing the universe to expand and accelerate in that expansion. It's an outward pressure, if you want to think of it that way. This was only discovered, to give you a sense, I went to Villanova University, graduated in 2002, and dark energy was discovered right around when I was starting undergrad. And
Amazing.
Rubin has a very, very good chance of telling us more about what dark energy is, its properties, and how it's changing our universe.
And I don't mean to go back to that potential ninth planet, but I'm guessing if it's as large as you're mentioning, the size of Neptune, is it that we haven't been able to see it yet because it's so far from the sun that it's dark, it's not reflecting much light, and that's why you need to have 30-second exposures and probably the combination of the visual data from all of the observatories of the planet? Am I kind of on the right track? Is that why we haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it would be very far away. It would have what we call an eccentric orbit, so it would spend most of its time actually really far away compared to the rest of the planets. And so planets don't emit their own light; they reflect light, and so these things are extraordinarily dim. You need a lot of coverage in terms of area on the sky and time sampling in order to get those little tracks. And to get back to like your first point about asteroids, none of this can be done by eye anymore. What you do is stitch together images and look for the things that are moving. And so we have a sense of what the orbit of Planet Nine should look like if it is there. And Rubin is going to be ideal at finding this thing if it is
I
there.
love it. And you met, right? You met Vera Rubin, the astronomer for whom this observatory is named. How did her work inspire you? And what do you hope this project will do to inspire the next generation of scientists?
Yeah, so I did have the pleasure of having lunch with Vera at the Carnegie Institute of Terrestrial Magnetism down in DC a number of years ago, and she was just the nicest person, really welcoming to a young scientist like myself at the time, and her work and her spirit in terms of how she persevered through institutional barriers. Right, she had a hard time actually getting a job in astronomy, and she really paved the way for a lot of female scientists in astronomy today. Um, it's a perfect namesake for her. She should have gotten a Nobel Prize for her work. She was one of the first people to discover the existence of dark matter. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But what really inspires me at this stage of my career, I got 3 young daughters at home. They're all interested in science and astronomy. Go figure. But this project is going to be ongoing when my oldest daughter gets to college, and if she wants to pursue science, having a data set that's public and open to all and is a very inclusive group is really going to be something that I think changes the way that at least astronomy is done here in New Jersey.
Go for it. Absolutely. I could talk to you for hours about this, doctor. I'm so fascinated. I'm that guy that goes down the Google and YouTube universe and just watches video after video after video. And so I would break into one of your classes and sneak in the back and just listen for hours. I'm so fascinated by it. Please come back again, Dr. John BochanskI, Associate Professor and Chair of Rider University's Department of Computer Science and Physics. Thank you so much for joining us and all the best with the project.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you. 8:49 right now. We have 73 degrees, mix of sun and clouds this morning. Could be a shower or thunderstorm later. Mike will be back with a full forecast in just a moment. We're coming right back. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, 849, taking calls. We could squeeze in one at 888-658-0234. Clouds and sun this morning, cloudy later, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm, highs around 90. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the full Garden State forecast. I'm sure, Mike, you knew everything he was talking about because this is the stuff you studied, right, in university, and you probably teach when you teach. So fascinating.
A lot of this is my hobby, if you will. So it is exciting to to follow it, to hear about it, and to see that it's homegrown here in New Jersey, because so much of it is out in the Chile's Atacama Desert, or you have to go to these big radio telescopes in other parts of the world. But to see it being done right here in the Garden State, very exciting, because we have so much light pollution, we can't enjoy all of the stars that you can normally see in other
And
parts
also
of the
atmosphere, right? Isn't it like you want to go to the crisp, clear atmosphere on the
Yes,
top of a mountain as opposed to the
exactly.
humidity and right?
Correct. And we have a
Love
lot
it.
of humidity around here in New Jersey, which doesn't exactly help Notice how the moon has been that lovely shade of red as it rises in the east at night. Yeah, not exactly its color. So our forecast bringing back more humidity today, like Ken was talking about, and it stays humid into this afternoon from Newark and Jersey City with some showers that return by the end of the day. Most of the storms will be over into the northwestern part of the state, developing around noon and then migrating across the rest of New Jersey throughout this evening. But it's rain we could use considering how it's been dry for the last 30 days or so. We're not in a drought, but we are in about a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit. All of this area in red kind of going around the state, seeing quite a bit of wet weather. Speaking of some tropical amount of rain, there is our next tropical storm, which is right there. That's Erin, that's spinning in the Atlantic basin. It's still a minimal tropical storm with those maximum sustained winds right now of only 45 miles per hour. But as it works its way westward, it picks up some intensity and becomes a major hurricane going just north of the Caribbean. And by Monday, it'll be somewhere here, anywhere from north of Haiti over to south of Bermuda. So lots of time to watch and see how the storm develops. In terms of our weather here in New Jersey for the next 2 weeks, we're actually experiencing slightly below average temperatures going into the end of the month, and the rainfall will be pretty much on par with average. So slightly cooler weather is welcome, considering how hot it's been this summer with heat wave after heat wave. Even today, probably getting back up to 90 degrees. Tomorrow could be warm again with a midday break of sun and then some storms tomorrow afternoon. Also not severe, but I think by Friday into Saturday, that's where we dry out, turn cooler, more pleasant into Monday and Tuesday of next week. And then there's that 81. It'll start to feel cooler by the time we get into early next week. The shore points look very pleasant as well, starting Friday, going right through the weekend, even into next week. Look at that 81 as a high. That's awesome beach weather taking us into next week. So very pleasant to wrap up the month of August, Ken.
Here we go. I don't like wrapping up the month of August.
Yeah, I
Gotta
know.
keep
Already
August for.
talking about it.
Can we just keep it another like 5 or 6 months? That's all. And then,
I can't believe it's August 13th already. Like, where did the month go?
yeah, it's my mommy's birthday coming up in a few days. So she's going to be 87 years old. So oh, I
Wow.
probably shouldn't have said that on the air.
That's okay.
But yeah, August is always at the time. And she too, she likes spring more so than summer. But yeah, she always, when it's her birthday time, she always starts talking back to school stuff because she was a school administrator for many decades. And so it's always the reminder that it's time to prepare for back to school. But oh well. All right,
Yeah.
Mike, have a great day, pal. Thank
You
you
too.
so
Talk to you tomorrow.
much. Thank you. 73 degrees now in northern New Jersey, 74 in Trenton. And in terms of traffic, we have a couple things going on right now on the Garden State Parkway northbound south of exit 135 Central Avenue, Clark Township. The left lane is blocked. Earlier, they reported that as the center. Now they're saying it's the left lane. Maybe they moved the vehicle, but that's the residual delay. So it's just about half a mile beyond this point. So you know what? They must have moved the vehicle from the center lane to the left. Because when we were talking about this 10 minutes ago, Pam and I, our director, it was much slower. So I think that helped moving it off to the left lane. But nonetheless, just try to avoid that area if you can. Again, that is Clark Township on the Garden State Parkway. We have a crash. Of course, it just flashed off as I was telling you. A crash, here we go, and an overturned vehicle, New Jersey Turnpike by Interchange 11 by the Garden State Parkway, Woodbridge, with two of the toll lanes currently blocked. And we have still a debris spill on the New Jersey Turnpike outer roadway south of Interchange 8, Route 33 East Windsor. All lanes are open, but there's a pallet in the left lane to look out for. And debris on the New Jersey Turnpike southbound north of Interchange 3, which is in Cherry Hill, down near Philadelphia area. All lanes are open, but debris on the roadway there. Who knows? Somebody's dumping debris all over the turnpike. We also have a disabled tractor trailer on the George Washington Bridge upper level eastbound by the Upper Trans-Manhattan Expressway in Manhattan. So that's as you are just entering Manhattan, two left lanes are blocked. Let's see what the approach looks like now as a result. Okay, so there you go. That's what you're seeing there. That's causing that residual delay because 10 minutes ago we had no delays on the GWB approach. So now that's causing that problem. That is once again being caused by a disabled tractor trailer on the GWB. So that's causing about 20 to 25 minutes to get into Manhattan. Your better bet is to take the lower level because that is impacting the upper level, what you just saw. Lincoln Tunnel is about 20 minutes in, and the Holland is only 10 to 15. It is 8:55 on Monday. The Jonas Brothers kicked off their Jonas 2.0 greetings from your hometown tour at MetLife Stadium with a heartwarming moment for 16-year-old Gabby Brim of Toms River. They invited Gabby, a former patient and ambassador for Children's Specialized Hospital, backstage for a personal meet and greet. Gabby survived a brain bleed at 13. It left her paralyzed, and she credits the hospital's intensive rehabilitation for restoring her mobility and giving her a second chance at life. A longtime supporter of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, the Jonas Brothers made Gabby's dream come true, creating a miracle moment that she will never forget. 856, a new Wallet Hub survey ranks New Jersey as the third best state to live in. The Garden State excels in safety, ranking first, and performs strongly in education and health at sixth, and quality of life at seventh. Despite a 48th place in terms of affordability, which we all know, New Jersey boasts its the third highest median household income at over $101,000. We have the second lowest median debt and the sixth lowest poverty rate. Massachusetts and Idaho, by the way, took the top two spots. One swimmer has died. 4 others were rescued after being caught in a dangerous rip current at a Webster Avenue beach on Monday evening. The Seaside Heights Fire Department responded, deploying jet skis to save the distressed swimmers. All 5 were rushed to Community Medical Center in Toms River. 1 was pronounced dead. The other 4 in stable condition. The beach was not guarded at the time as lifeguards had ended their shift. Authorities note this follows another recent rip current incident involving 10 others over the weekend. Patterson still having problems with its water main break, frustration mounting. Residents facing a 5th day with little or no water after a 143-year-old water main broke on Friday. Nearly 200,000 customers remain under a boil water advisory, some relying on portable showers and toilets at a local high school. The city is distributing free bottled water. The repairs should be finished this morning, though the advisory could last until Friday. So do not drink tap water in the Patterson area until you are told it's okay, unless you boil it first. 857, a New Jersey Transit bus crashed into a PSE&G utility truck in Newark yesterday at 15th Ave and Bedford Street, injuring 14 people. 12 of them were on the bus as passengers. 1 was a driver and also the truck driver. All were taken to University Hospital with injuries. The collision flipped the truck onto the sidewalk, toppling a utility pole and cutting power to nearby senior residents, apartments, and traffic lights. A witness said the truck was stationary when the bus swerved into it. And the FAA now seeking to extend flight caps at Newark Liberty through October 2026 due to ongoing staffing shortages. The current limit of 34 flights an hour was set to expire by the year's end. The extension could make catching flights into and out of Newark a little more challenging until next summer. Our time is coming up now at 8:59. Excuse the delay here. We're having issues with the computer. I hate that when computers give us issues. A meteorologist, Mike Favetti, says a mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later, maybe a stray shower or a thunderstorm. Highs about 90. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Remember, you can always stream us at ONNJ.com and 15 other platforms. We'll catch you tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. bright and early. Till then, have a great day.